past the hills and rivers wide, where wildflowers freely bloom. In this land with skies so open, where can our children play? In cities bustling bright and loud, cars and lights that never sleep, do they find a piece of sky? Where can our children play? Bring them fields of green and gold, let their laughter echo clear. In a world so tightly wound, where can our children play? Mountains whisper ancient tales, forests sing in harmony. Will these wonders slip away? Where can our children play? Beyond the screens and towers tall, where dreams once were born and bred, do they carve new paths of joy? Where can our children play? Let's be stewards of this earth, guard the spaces wide and free. Do they find a piece of sky? Where can our children play? Bring them fields of green and gold, let their laughter echo clear. In a world so tightly wound, where can our children play? Bring them fields of green and gold, let their laughter echo clear. In a world so tightly wound, where can our children play?
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Laurie Gagan, and I am with KMMU.org or Main Street Media Utah. And welcome to today's podcast with my dear friend and colleague, Stephanie Gulu, who is a certified massage specialist. And I am actually quite excited to be interviewing her. One, I just had a lymphatic massage with her. Two, I'm on a master cleanse 10-day fast. So we're going to talk about the importance of lymphatic massage. But Stephanie, before we get started, did you see the new food pyramid from RFK?
I did, and I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh. So to recap that for people who have not seen it, healthy proteins and good fats at the top of the funnel. And what that does is the good fats help feed our brain. Why? Because our brain is mostly fat. And they're saying healthy proteins, not that garbage food, running through McDonald's, running through some of these fast food restaurants that really have no nutritional value. The next one in line is vegetables and fruits. And quite honestly, we should be getting, 50 to 60% of our caloric content, because it has really important nutrients in it, from vegetables and fruits. And everybody loves a good apple, and everybody loves cherries when they come out, and everybody loves blueberries. So what's your favorite fruit?
I love when the cherries come out.
Oh,
I love cherries.
Yeah, me too. The next one down are whole grains, and we're talking about healthy grains. We're talking about organic, certified gluten-free type of grains. And for me, one of my most important and probably my only grain that I really consume, because I really don't consume any other grains, is I like a really good oatmeal. But the only one that I'm eating is the one from Farmers Knows Best. Thank you, Farmers Knows Best, for putting that out. And it's just because it's glyphosate free, and it says it right on the package, and it's the only oatmeal. I don't know, have you seen that at Natural Grocers?
I have.
Yeah, have you tried it?
Yes, I'm always looking for something that's clean too.
And it's really simple for parents to do a quick overnight oats, because you're just going to put a couple scoops in. You're going to put your delicious cherries, berries, blueberries, whatever you want to put in there. You could add some organic almond milk or non-GMO almond milk. You can do some cashew milk, or I love coconut milk. And then you can make it really healthy so that when the chaos starts, when the kids get up, all you have to do is line them all up and then the kids have their breakfast. The bottom one is obviously the sweets and refined carbs. And we know always how these sugary sodas, right, Layton, like Sprites and Dr. Peppers and cupcakes and bagels and all of that crap food that really has no nutritional value in it, how bad it is. And so I'm glad it's at the bottom of the food list. And I'm glad RFK and Dr. Oz came out and did that. But do you have anything else you want to say?
I think protein is key, and you are more fuller with protein. You crave less sweets with protein. That building block of life.
Yeah, collagen.
Yes.
I mean, as everybody starts aging, you know, your hair starts getting a little bit drier, your skin starts not feeling as moist. But I know that you're going to talk about your organic oils at the end, so we'll talk about that. But all right, let's jump into this because I'm quite excited. So Stephanie, let's first start out by, can you let our audience know when you first got certified and what your certifications in lymphatic massage consist of?
My lymphatic certifications, I am certified in manual lymphatic drainage. And my certification goes back to probably 2010, 2008.
It's like 30 years.
And and then I am certified in another technique based in Eastern medicine and deep lymphatic drainage. And I did that probably about 28 years ago. So it's been quite a long time. I am a licensed massage therapist. I am a master certified life coach. And it has, all the years that I have practiced have now led me to having the knowledge that I have now to share with people.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So let's start off on question number 1. So what exactly is lymphatic massage? And why is it so important for overall health and well-being? And we see the uptick in all of these illnesses and autoimmune diseases, even things like cancer. So why is lymphatic massage so important?
Lymphatic massage is so important because it is a way to clean out the body. It is a detox, and with modern day life, we're up against modern day life. We're not moving enough. We're not drinking enough water. We might not have that healthy rotation diet. We know that foods are causing inflammation, and so we are an inflammation nation. So one of the reasons this is so important is because it takes down inflammation. So lymphatic massage is a special or a specific massage that targets the lymphatic system. So we work in different areas. I spend a great deal of time in the stomach. In traditional massage, no one really touches the stomach anymore. We're focusing on the inside of the legs, on the inside of the arms, the soft tissue. I go through the armpit. We spend time in the neck. And so it's a different sequence in massage. The pressure that I use is a good medium, more like a Swedish massage.
Okay.
Anything else with that?
So does it directly cover like the importance of how the lymphatic system supports immunity? Does it do things like reduce swelling or removing waste or promoting detoxification and relaxation? Again, making it essential for people with fluid buildup, post-surgery recovery, and chronic conditions. And I want to add something to that with our viewers. So I'm a holistic health coach and I specialize in gut-brain axis. Leaky gut is really, I'm very passionate about it. And there are foods that we eat that become sandpaper on our gut wall. And what ends up happening is the gut breaks open, the tight junctions break open, and that's why they call it leaky gut. And when the tight junctions are open, what ends up happening is that the toxins are flowing in and out. And there are times that your vitamins and minerals, vitamin D, which is a really important one, you're not able to take it into your cells. You can't digest it because everything's leaking in and out of the gut. And so more and more people are becoming vitamin D deficient because of the leaky gut caused by these herbicides and pesticides that are being sprayed, especially on the grains like wheat. And when you can't get the vitamin D into the cell or even into the brain, which is really important there, you have all these, first of all, you have chronic fatigue, you'll have brain fog, a lot of times you'll have digestive issues because everything's not breaking down. So the importance when you talk about where you focus on the stomach, you're trying to move these toxins such as herbicides and pesticides, Roundup, 2,4-D, atrazine. There's a whole slew of other type of herbicides and pesticides. And when we think about the people that are spraying like for bugs inside their home, that's pretty serious business because if you look at the ingredients, they're pretty toxic. And so when you're breathing these in and your body can't eliminate them, then they're stuck in the immune system, lodging into the tissue, the fat, and other organs. So does it help with supporting things like the immunity and removing the waste and reducing swelling? And before you answer that, can you tell our listeners where the lymphatic system is within the body underneath the skin?
Yes. So underneath the skin, we have the lymphatic capillary bed. And then those capillaries go to lymphatic veins, and the veins go to the nodes.
Okay.
So we have in our abdomen area, we have 300 nodes. 150 are around the small intestine. The other 150 are around the large intestine. They surround the organs. They go deep to the spine. Lymphatic nodes are either in chains or clusters. So we have a chain going down the inside of the leg. There's a couple behind the knee. We have lots of lymphatic capillaries in the head, the hands, and the feet. We have a chain going down the sternum of lymph nodes. Women have more lymphatic tissue because of the breast tissue. We have the axilla or the armpit, and then we have the neck. And we have lymphatic all the way in covering the top of the brain. And now we know that there's lymphatic tissue in between the brain and the
Cortex?
skull.
Okay.
The brain and the skull. And so it's the lymphatic fluid is really all around the brain. We have a couple of deep lymphatic veins deep in the neck. And so all of that is working. It moves very slowly. This is why in modern day life it needs help. It doesn't move by the heart. Muscle contraction doesn't move it. It has to move by deep breathing and movement. So there's our walking, there's our exercise. And we know today, we used to feel good going to the gym and scheduling it for an hour, but today almost that's not enough with our driving, with our office jobs, with our sitting, with what we're up against. And so the lymphatic system does help all of those things that you mentioned.
So do you see a lot of patients? Does it help with their swelling, and do they feel it? Do they give you that feedback?
Yes, it does help with swelling. It helps reduce inflammation, and people will notice a difference. Sometimes when they get off the table, their pants is looser. I'll have people lose weight over a few days. People have to go to the bathroom way more with lymphatic massage so that they see that it's instantly working. They do feel better. Wherever you do have puffiness, if you have puffiness in your face or if it's in your ankles, your legs, they will see a difference. I see a difference all the time, the inflammation in people's face going down just by spending time on the neck. And with post-surgery, yes, this helps so much because, again, we're reducing the inflammation.
Right. And Dr. Fleming always talks about, I did a podcast with him, the inflammothrombotic immunological response, which is really the inflammation. And most chronic diseases really kind of start with the inflammation, but it's when it moves from systemic to chronic and you're constantly having that inflammation, it's a burden on your body. And yes, some people may not feel it, but I always say if what's on the end of your fork, if you can see the harm, if you're eating conventional foods or you're eating, drinking those sugary sodas and eating the cupcakes and bagels or pizza, if you could see what that is doing to your body, you would probably second guess what you're eating. And right here, I'm hoping that you can see this. This is a picture right here, a poster that I have of the lymphatic system. And as Stephanie was saying, we have about 650 to 750 from what I researched. And I don't think really anybody really knows at this point because you have the whole lymphatic system where you got the lymph nodes in there too. But it really starts right here along your jawline and then goes around, like Stephanie was saying, goes around the breast and it goes through the center of the body and down through the pelvic area. And we know that the lymphatic system, so those are our filtration systems. And think about if anybody is, older than 16, obviously, because you're only getting your license when you're 16. But just think, you're 50 years old and think if you had your first car, you've never changed your oil filter, how good would your car run? It probably wouldn't be running. And we're certainly not going to take a Lamborghini and put unleaded gas, which goes back to the nutrition and the bagels and the sodas and things that people are eating and drinking, because all of that is clogging these precious lymphatic nodes that you have in your body. And they're so very, very important. Stephanie, next question. So I used to prefer a deep tissue, and I know that when you do your massages with me, you kind of do a combination to kind of get the stress out of my neck because I tend to hold the stress, I like to call it the bowling ball attached to my shoulders. But you also do the lymphatic. So what are the main differences between a lymphatic massage and regular massages like a Swedish massage, which I often refer to as a no bother, and deep tissue massage? So let us know that.
So a deep tissue massage is really focusing in the muscle and maybe structurally realigning things. It could be a sports massage for an athlete. So you're really focusing on treatment or a lot of deep pressure to really get into the tissue and have it relax. With massage, with traditional massage, Swedish, that's a lighter technique. It's an in-between technique of moving around the body. Some people like that. There's Hawaiian, Swedish massage. There's many types of, it's more flowing. And the difference with the lymphatic, again, now we're site-specific, targeting the lymphatic system, targeting the areas that people are having problems, if they're having sinus issues, if they're having gut issues, if they have stomach weight, if they have edema in their legs.
And what's edema again?
So edema is that fluid, that swelling with fluid.
Okay.
Right? Okay. And so the lymphatic massage is addressing the body in another way. We're looking at where your congestion is, what you've done for work, where you've lived, where your parents lived, where your mother was when she was carrying you. We look at the, I'm going to say, toxic environmental that you've lived. Where do you work? And look at how that is impacting your body, how that's impacting your health, and getting that cleaned up.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. So who do you think benefits the most from lymphatic massages? And what kinds of conditions or situations do you see it help with the most?
So it's a great question. I'm going to say with modern day life, everyone can benefit. The people that benefit the most have low energy, have fatigue. Maybe they have autoimmune disorder. They could have cancer. So the lymphatic massage, when you are at a low energy state, so if I were to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your energy level, 10 being the best, 1 being the lowest, if I get people at a 1, 2, or 3, or 4, the lymphatic massage will really boost. They're going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel great, because it helps boost up their energy. And the people that also can benefit the best is people that have gut issues, that have stomach issues. Now we know we have the gut-brain connection. The gut is masterfully intelligent. We have all this stagnation, as Laurie was saying, and all these causes that cause stagnation, and we need to get this moving. So I say, if you have stomach weight, if you have stomach bloat, if you have any kind of digestive issues, if you're celiac, if you cannot digest wheat or carbs and you're having these problems, you get stomach aches, stomach pains, that I really feel with the gut-brain connection, those are the people that need it sometimes the most right now, is everyone having gut issues.
Okay. Before I ask the next question, I actually want to throw another question in there. So we see an uptick in cancer. And for someone who has cancer going through chemotherapy, what are the benefits for someone who does have cancer trying to keep the body as healthy as it can and trying to get the chemo out? And you've worked on multiple and many cancer patients, but what would be the benefit of someone who has cancer going through chemo?
It helps in between the chemo sessions. It helps them to get rid of some of that excess, and which is important because then they feel better. I think giving people hope is one of the greatest things, and they have that little bit of breathing room where they don't feel as bad as they feel. And in the cancer world, people are looking for everything and anything that can help. And so, again, when we take down the inflammation, the tissue, the body works better, the body works more optimally. And so that's where I see a lot of the miracles with lymphatic work, with cancer, and with other health issues, is again taking down that inflammation, and then things just work better and they feel better, their energy goes up. It might keep their mind clearer. They might get rid of a lot of that brain fog or whatever.
Right, because the chemo, is going through the entire body, which would include the brain. So you talked about that chronic fatigue and having that less brain fog and mind clear. So.
And less pain. It can help with less pain. I have doctors that we just wait a few days after, and then they agree. They don't say no when we do that lymphatic work. Of course, I would listen to what the doctor said, but so you're helping your body to have a better flow, and then that means your body systems and organ systems function more properly, and that's where you're getting your results.
Okay, thank you for that. Next question. What should someone expect during their first lymphatic massage session? And how does it feel compared to other types of body work? What are some of the importances
With lymphatic massage, you will have more energy. You will just feel clearer. Your mind will feel clearer. And the benefits of that, I'm going to have you ask the question.
Okay, that's okay. What the most important one is, what should someone expect during the first lymphatic massage session?
So you can expect to feel relaxed and refreshed, reinvigorated. You will feel, most people think, wow, that was really nice. That's a beautiful treatment. I really feel so much better. So you will get differences throughout your body versus a traditional massage. So you can expect to drink water. You'll need to drink water to help everything flush out.
Okay. All right, that makes
With
sense.
relaxation. You really feel relaxed.
Okay. And the water that they're going to be drinking, that is more than their half a body weight that they should be drinking on a normal basis anyway, correct?
Yes.
So if somebody's 100 pounds and they should be drinking 50 ounces for easy math, and you're going to recommend drinking another 8 or another 12 ounces?
I'm going to recommend up to a gallon.
Okay.
A gallon of water. If you're really flushing out and we're pushing on all the toxins, we're pushing, the lymphatic system picks up the worst things, it keeps the blood clean. And so yes, up to a gallon, because if you really want to get it out, you've got to get it out.
And that's really with any massage. I mean, whether you're going in for a Swedish massage, a deep tissue, a sports massage, a lymphatic massage, they should be telling them that they need a lot of water because it's also flushing all of the toxins out of their body, and all it's doing is running through their body. If they're not getting in, then what they're going to be reabsorbing that, causing further inflammation. So just to clarify that, it's not only just a lymphatic massage, it's any type of a massage that you're going to get, because what it's doing is pushing all the toxins out of your tissue. And if you're not drinking enough water on any massage, they it's called Herxheimer or Herxing, which are really just basic flu-like symptoms. But obviously someone that may have a lot of chemicals, let's just say somebody smokes, you got a lot of chemicals. I mean, I see it all the time in the work that I do that, a cigarette can have 400 different types of chemicals in there. And if you're not flushing it out, then you're harming your body. So, I mean, even someone, honestly, who didn't want to give up smoking could still benefit from a lymphatic massage, because at least they've got some movement going to start flushing their system out. Not that I want people smoking. We want them to quit smoking, but it's still a benefit even for smokers.
I had a client that was smoking and he had leukemia, and I was like, oh my gosh, and we still did lymphatic massage and it helped him completely.
Yeah. And there are ways, it's for another podcast, but there are ways in amino acid dietary supplements that can help you break your habit of smoking. Last question before we move on to how they can find you. What are some simple at-home tips or habits people can do in between sessions to support their lymphatic system and keep their body flowing well?
I have made now the 5-minute remedy, and how you can help your body in between sessions is by working on your stomach, working around your belly button, working along the intestinal tract. And I have made 2 oils called Gut Flow and Navel Nectar, which I love. And we're using those to help not become more bloated by working on the small intestine, because it's very slow, it takes time, the movement is very slow, and we use a ginger infusion oil, and then I have a turmeric. We put that around the stomach. You spend those few minutes, you will get instant results. Your stomach will be instantly flatter. You instantly can take down bloat, but you're helping to clean up this area. As we clean up this area, the body will go ahead and dump more stored toxins because there's room for it to get out.
Okay. What about gentle dry brushing?
I like dry brushing as I can have those few minutes. If I'm not going to work out. I know I'm traveling, I have to go out to the airport. I'm going to take that dry brush and I'm going to use it to help stimulate and to cover areas that aren't getting a lot of attention.
Okay. What about deep breathing?
Yes, deep breathing moves the lymphatic system. It is amazing to know a few techniques because you can do them anywhere so that you can activate some lymphatic flow.
Okay. thoughts on elevating legs?
I'm not against elevating legs. I think elevating your legs will always help you in that moment of feeling better, but I am a fan of your stomach will get you more results.
Okay.
And you could do the stomach and then you could dry brush the legs. Or maybe if your legs are up, I would recommend dry brushing your legs while they're up. Because they teach that gravity will move things. And I say that we need more than that. I don't really see how much that's really doing. Do you see that changing your energy level when you get up? Do you see a difference in your swelling in your legs? Now, if you do your stomach while your legs are up, I'm going to say yes. Because you're activating this, and then I would use my hands too and keep bringing everything up.
Okay. So just to recap, so lymphatic uses light, gentle, rhythmic strokes with oil, preferably Stephanie's organic oil. And she's going to tell you here in a few minutes where you can go online and buy it, because it helps to stimulate the lymph, which is really just right underneath the skin. So regular massage uses deeper pressure, kneading an oil to target muscles in tension, and lymphatic focuses on the drainage and the decongestion. Can you recap why the stomach is the most important area that you like to concentrate on?
The stomach is the most important area because it is by our elimination. We're working with the intestinal tract, so we're telling the body it's time for this to leave. We are manually moving things out. The stomach is the key, and the small intestine, which we have left out until we left it out completely until now. This will get you free flow. It will start cleaning things up. As we clean it up, your body will detox more and chemicals will come out. This gets rid of heavy metals. This gets rid of everything.
Okay, and we talk about the importance of the digestive tract, particularly the small intestines, because that's really where you're going to absorb your antioxidants and your minerals. And if you're sluggish there, you can think of a thick oil sludge that you wouldn't want to put in your car. You've got to get that out. And the only way that you're really going to do it is that the dry brushing and the lymphatic massage. And if you're not eliminating those toxins, your body is reabsorbing, and it's not good for your immune system, and it's certainly not good for your brain. So I wanted to recap that too. But so Stephanie, tell our viewers how they find you and where can they go online to purchase your organic oils. And they're very inexpensive. So I'm just going to throw that out. And then I have another question on all these digestive aids and things that we're seeing in some of the stores like Target and Walmart. But let our viewers know where they can find you.
You can find me at www.lymphinity.com, but that is Lymfinity. Lymphinity.com. You can read about the oils. I have videos on how to massage your stomach. You can follow along. I started with videos for children for ear infections, upper respiratory, anxiety help, teenage anxiety help. That's all on there, but you can read all my background, the information, my 4 anti-inflammatory massage oils that are completely organic. I've sourced everything myself.
And what are those, just so that our
So
viewers
we have
know?
Gut Flow, Navel Nectar. We have Solar Gold, which is a organic calendula oil, marigold oil. And then I have a moringa oil that's called Miracle Flow because the moringa tree is known as the miracle tree.
They can even use that moringa oil like on their face and just kind of doing it themselves, just by getting in there and just kind of massaging that. Plus your face looks really good afterwards. I'm just going to throw that out there.
It looks
on there.
amazing afterwards.
So let's end with this question. So I know that you recently walked through Walmart, and I've recently been in Walgreens, but Target, and there's a lot of digestive aids. This for bloating, and you've got this, take this pill and this capsule. But you talked about the 5-minute remedy, which I think is very powerful. Because one of the things I think when people are going in to buy those digestive aids, they don't really realize that when they're taking a pill or they're taking a supplement, anything like that, it's got to go through the digestive tract. It's got to go through the stomach to break down. And your stomach has a pH about 2.4. It's very acidic because that's where the breakdown of your foods begin. Because it's going to break down, it's going to start removing those toxins, those poisons. And since the stomach is acidic, people don't even know if those high-priced capsules, those digestive aids, are really going to make it through the stomach acidity and make it out to go to the rest of the body. I mean, they just don't know that. And to put that in perspective, there's a probiotic out there by Microbiome Labs, and it's called the microbiome spores. And basically, it's a soil-based probiotic. And the reason that those soil-based probiotics are so good is that they were developed to withstand the acidity of the stomach so that those probiotics make it live all the way down to your colon so they could reseed your colon with all the goodness and all the good bacteria. It's kind of like reseeding your garden with flower seeds opposed to weed seeds. So you talk about that 5-minute remedy, which I think is really important because one, I mean, just getting your oil, and they last for a pretty long time. It could do it yourself, or they could go out there and buy these expensive digestive aids that they don't even know if it's going to be working, and just throwing away money.
Yeah, when I have been looking at them, I've been noticing a lot of de-bloat and deflate your stomach. And my question is too, well, how long does it take? If I take those capsules, how long does it take? And the 5-minute remedy is something that you can do immediately. The oils are very strong and they help you. And you can get results instantly. You can get results from just putting them on your stomach. They've also been helping with pain. I test everything in real time. I don't put out anything that I have not lived myself. Now, with my 30-year background in lymphatic massage and having my hands on that many people, I can tell what's working. I can feel where there's congestion. I show people how to help themselves. And it is, why not 5 minutes? I would, instead of going through discomfort all week or all day or when you have to do something. And so, yes.
Okay. All right. And for those of you that heard me mention Blayton, he's our back-end camera guy. And I always like to give him kudos because he does an amazing job on that. So, but I did catch him coming in and drinking a can of Sprite today, but we'll work on that. Anyway, so thank you. And we're going to be doing another podcast. We may even demonstrate like that 5-minute remedy. But Stephanie, again, where can they buy your oils? Website one more time, please.
Lymphinity.com. And on all my social media, it's Stephanie Gulu. So you can find me on Instagram as Stephanie Gulu and on TikTok and on Facebook.
Okay, and Gulu is spelled Gulu. But thanks for watching, and we look forward to the next one. Thank you very much, Stephanie.
Okay, now we have our teenager. So I'm going to go ahead and just put something to protect the clothing, and it kind of gives us a clean line to work with. We're going to get our oil or lotion. Again, a soothing touch. You really want to be calming and have a full hand contact. It makes such a difference in how it feels for the person that's receiving. So we're going to put our oil on. Starting at the inside of the right hip. I'm just showing the inside of the right hip, but as close as we can get to it is okay. So I'm at the right side, and now I'm going to pull or just glide up. I want to keep a linear pressure. I'm coming up towards the rib cage. As I hit the ribs, I come straight across, lightening up at the belly button. So I'm jumping up and over the belly button so that we're not putting pressure on the abdominal aorta. As I come over, I've got my pressure on my fingertips at the end of the rib cage. I follow through so that now the palm of my hand is really at the ribs. Changing hands, I come through to go straight down to the inside of the left hip. We're doing an upside down U. We don't go straight across. We are following the intestinal tract. Half of all the lymph nodes are in the abdominal cavity. So that's at least 300 nodes. As we open up the stomach, the body will dump more of stored toxicity because there's room for it to get out. So we call this opening the gates. We are giving the lymphatic system a big push here, saying, hey, come on, do your job, work at an optimal level. The lymphatic system gets kind of sluggish and sleepy. So we have capillaries throughout the entire skin. We're really working with the capillary bed here. It's valveless. We can move it in any direction. We are working our way towards the descending colon so that everything can leave. The number one way that this works is through the urinary system. So drinking enough water when you work on somebody, having them drink water really helps to move out what we've been pushing on in the lymphatic system. Okay, now we're doing a scoop. This is a technique where we're kind of doing that movement that I'm showing. We're going to do it at 5 places in the stomach. We're lining up with the inside of the hip. We can start in any place with this, but we want to get all sides. So we're at the left hip, kind of a diagonal hand, and we're doing 7 scoops. We kind of scoop and let go, scoop and let go. I've moved to the next corner. We're going to count 7 times. Our pinky is really what's doing that scooping. Now, in between the ribs, we don't do a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of give there. We just do, so it's a very small movement. We're just working with the give that is in the tissue. So it's very light. Still going to count 7 times. The other rib, that diagonal hand, and we start doing that scoop. And our last corner of the hip, the hand lined up, doing that scooping or sweeping motion. This is a manual lymphatic drainage technique. And then just giving the stomach another pass, jumping up and over the belly button, coming straight down to the hip. Here I'm supporting my fingers. I've got my hands overlaid, which helps me get pressure and keep my bottom hand really formed to the shape of the person's abdomen. Going around again, slowly.
Bring them fields of green and gold, let their laughter echo clear. In a world so tightly wound, where can our children play? Bring them fields of green and gold, let their laughter echo clear. In a world so tightly wound, where can our children